Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. Final Rick Simpson oil in this series, making of. You guys made it. I'm just using a just a butter knife here to help scrape off some of the RSO. Now that there's a good coating of coconut oil in there, so it won't stick to the knife very well. So that's what you're looking for. I'm just kind of scraping the perimeter, making sure everything's kind of in the oil, and we're going to extract it out into these plastic 2-ounce containers. The induction cooker is still on and still keeping everything nice and toasty warm at 200 Fahrenheit, and I'm just using this butter knife to help get everything moved to where I want it to, so we can go ahead and start extracting. You can see me doing a better job there on these angles here as I turn the Pyrex. Just trying to direct everything into the concentrate so we get nice hearty amount in there, infused in there, and it also helps clean the glass at the same time, the container. Give it a good stir. You can get real thorough. I'm not too worried about it because RSO is pretty powerful stuff, so, but I'm trying to get the most out of it as I can without making a giant mess, put it that way. And since I'm an impatient person, that's probably good enough for me. And so we'll start loading that stuff into the containers shortly here for the final product, guys. Guys and gals. Alright. I think we're pretty happy with that. And here we go, guys, the big pour time. Ooh. I'm just trying to make sure none of the water comes off the bottom of the Pyrex and goes everywhere there. I poured it into one of my other coconut oil infused containers that was a little low and topped it off. And so this coconut oil will be plenty potent because it's an RSO infusion. And yeah. Now when it cools off, it turns like, it looks like a green butter basically. So I just call all this stuff butter. If you ever noticed in my video, you can use actual butter to infuse into, but it doesn't have the shelf life as this stuff was if you did the comparison. So I tried it once or twice with real butter, but you're better off using this stuff for shelf life. So there we go, guys. We got almost all of it cleaned off there, and came out pretty well. Now you can go back in and scrape off whatever you think you want to do. If you're that antsy about getting over that strap, I'm sure you can do that. And you can see me taking the knife and just kind of throwing some in the other ones. And I'm going to carefully put the lids on in case I accidentally spill all this great medicine, which would be a devastating disaster. If you ever did, just be careful, go slow, make sure the lid's completely on, and then get that stuff in the fridge right away and let it cool off. Or just let it gradually, set it off to the side and let it gradually cool and then throw it in the fridge. And at this point I can shut my power off for the induction cooker. Eventually, when I get to it in the video. But that pretty much extracted every single bit of the RSO other than the little spots you see in the Pyrex container. And yeah, there we go. I shut it right off. Now, I believe that's as good as I'm going to probably get it. I think. Yeah, I take the knife and try to chisel off a little bit of that excess there you see. And try to get all that stuff into the mix here. So we get every little bit of it. Because you just throwing that out would be kind of a waste, you know what I mean? After all that work. And this just kind of demonstrates the difference between RSO and using organic coconut oil. People also use that MCT oil as well. I've never really had the use for it or tried that stuff, but this stuff seems to work well. I just add a little bit more coconut oil to the mix to try to get this little remainder RSO infusion that's left over in the glass and go from there. It'll help fill up the last of that container that I had about half full there. So we'll let this thing do its thing and that'll be it. There's enough residual heat there that will melt that coconut oil and should be able to mix this stuff in fairly decent. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comment section. I've been trying to answer everybody's questions. Other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory, guys. Just you basically should just subscribe to my channel or go to my Rick Simpson Oil playlist, bookmark it, and then you guys can go back and rewatch videos over and over, different ways of making the stuff, different methods here. And, you know, that's what it's all about. Learning, teaching, spreading it out to everybody for free. Notice my channel's not monetized because YouTube has a stick up their ass for this kind of content. So I figure, what the hell? Screw YouTube, and let's show everybody and share the knowledge. Also, I'm on Rumble, guys. I'm also on the Instagram, and I'm also on BitChute, and that's where I mostly post nowadays. So if you guys were wondering why I don't post YouTube content much anymore, because I moved to platforms that don't censor people for stupid objective guidelines or whatever the hell their commie leftist agenda is over there. and I'm just on free sites. So that's where I'm at now. And I'm slowly migrating all my YouTube content over to those platforms so people can see everything. And look at that, guys. That Pyrex glass looks pretty damn clean. I got a lot of that medicine captured, and look at all the stuff we captured here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that first one there is the main RSO concentrate, and the rest are the RSO infused with coconut oil. So that's the final product there, guys. Check out the Pyrex.